I'm doing my project on Odell Beckham Jr. So the story behind it is Odell Beckham Jr. and the New York Giants, the team he played for at the time, they had personal issues on and off the field. Tensions rose when both sides started discussing contract extensions. The Giants believed that he wasn't worth his asking price due to his tendencies on and off the field. Both sides took to the media about their differences. The story was whether OBJ was a quote-unquote drama queen, or if he was a cancer to the team, a problem in the locker room, or if he was a distraction, or even him being selfish. Some believed it was his desire to win, and this resulted in Odell being traded to the Cleveland Browns. So an NFL article, Odell Beckham Jr.'s antics, how to handle a diva wide receiver. It talks about Odell's on-field antics. And one of his quotes were, his combustible nature has been a distraction to the team this season, and feeds into the perception of highly skilled wide receivers as temperamental divas who need to be managed as much as coached. Another quote was, when OBJ scored a garbage time touchdown against the Packers, he didn't help his team or himself by carrying the attention getting tirade. In a game in which his team was en route to losing, he wasn't worried about that. He was worried about running over to the kicking net and making nice. Because this was prior to this, there's an incident of Odell angrily running off the field and causing a scene on the sidelines of him in the kicking net, which kickers kick into, and he was throwing his helmet at it and abusing it. And this quote just makes him seem selfish, and it puts himself before his teammates that he scored a garbage time touchdown and got penalized for it because he celebrated too much afterwards. And this really takes the viewpoint of OBJ being a distraction to the team and being selfish. So in the Mike Francesca podcast, I will show it now.
Evans, Green, and we could debate the last one. I'll put in Keenan Allen. Those four, 24 years of service, under contract for $268 million. So when you throw them in and bring it up to 46 years of service, $502 million. You know how many Super Bowls they've won? None. You know how many they've played in? One. Julio Jones. And his coach screwed the game up. They have won no Super Bowls. So the preoccupation with these prima donna wide receivers in this new age of passing is so overrated. It is unbelievable. Enough. The best thing that could happen is they kick his rear end out of town and start over. Has it worked? He played in one playoff game and he stunk. I am so sick of hearing about him. It's ridiculous. Every day. Well, does the coach connect with him? Did the coach explain it right? Is Beckham okay with the game plan? Who the hell cares? Go out and play. Now, if you throw the ball down the field to somebody else, that's a problem? Everything's a problem. Since the Giants started kissing his rear end, they haven't won a game.
So this podcast really discusses, in the beginning, it talked about Odell's record of 29-47 since being drafted with the team. And he really put emphasis on how he didn't do much. And then he gets into how the top wide receivers are paid top dollar, and it doesn't translate to Super Bowl wins. So he takes the viewpoint on Odell as being selfish and how he isn't worth the frustration to deal with on your team. And in the next video, it's from NFL Good Morning Football. It's a video of an ex-Giant, Sean O'Hara, talking about Odell.
This is the man of the week in New York right now. We've been talking about him a lot. You were in the Giants locker room for a long time. You're still close to the team.
Can the camera see this? This is Odell Beckham with a pacifier
and a crib. And Oshkosh Bagosh, like a child. But we've been saying a lot of things about him. What are they saying about him in the Giants locker room?
Yeah, there's no crying in football, to reference Tom Hanks in A League of Their Own.
Yeah.
But let me just, let's just do this. Let's bring it on in here.
All right, let's go. Come on, good.
We're gonna bring it on here. We're gonna do a
Go on.
little. This is a little talk right now, and I'm gonna pretend to be Eli.
Okay.
Odell, are you done? Did you get out of your system? Are you done with the drama? Because I've seen your commercial where you say shoulders are meant for greatness. Right now, they're nothing but dandruff and drama. We don't need this, all right? Do you want to catch touchdown passes? Because you don't have one this season. If you want to catch touchdown passes, straighten up and let's rock and roll and let's get going. Let's get back going. Are we good? Can we hug it out? Are we good? Okay, good.
Does Eli?
And he isn't biased because he knows the organization. He knows Eli Manning. He knows the Giants, and he talks about what Eli should say to him to fix these on-field and off-field frustration from Odell. And it was a good viewpoint due to the fact that he knows the organization's beliefs and the players in the locker room, and he really believes he comes with a lot of drama, and he could stop with the antics, and that's what he believes Eli should say to him. And the next one is Howard Cross on the Dan Patrick Show.
Being unfairly singled out because the Giants lost last night.
Yeah, but it's a chain reaction. You have an interview, and the interview you say the team needs to do X, Y, and Z, and now all of a sudden all the media wants to know, is the team upset that he said these things? And the coach is no finito. Everybody's like, when you get onto that, he goes out into the game. He causes a fumble in the end zone on a punt return. So they're like, so you're saying the team should play better, should have more energy. So it's like the chain reaction. Anything we say is, we have to be you want to get comments on. We want content. We're holding mics. We want content. So if you say something, if you do something, it's content. If you don't say anything, they're like, it's not fair. It's not speaking to the media. But if he speaks or says anything, it's content. So he's going to be singled out for the rest of his career. He's almost bigger than the game itself because it's Odell. I don't know why that is, but people love him, love to talk about him. Every speech I ever give is the questions. When you give question and answers, the first thing they say is Odell really that bad of a guy? I'm like, the guy that flies around to children's hospitals and sees kids on his own dime and stuff? No, I think he's pretty good.
But
I didn't know that.
could he accept the role of second best player on the team behind Saquon Barkley?
Yeah.
Okay.
They just want to win. When you're playing that poorly, they just want to win. They're desperate for a win. Like it gets really heavy on teams when things are happening in that way. You'll do anything for a win. You don't really care who's the star, who's not the star. Odell's going to get his, and he's going to get, he'll have the 100-plus yard nights.
So he was also a former ex-Giant, so he knows the organization and what they're about. And he discusses how people love paying attention to Odell and making a story or headlines about him. And since he's the polarizing guy, people always want to do that. And he isn't biased with his answers since he played for the Giants, and he takes the viewpoint that he does his antics because he has a desire to play the game and win. And he's in the media because the media makes stories about him, and he tries to fix it. And the next video is on Ryan Clark from SportsCenter.
Saquon Barkley plays well. If you're the defense and your offense gives you this, which I know you've been clamoring for, you better stop somebody, and that's on them.
Right. No, and listen, if there's a guy who knows how to deal with it, it will be Eli. I mean, listen, he's taken a lot of attacks, whether it's New York media, fans, whether it's teammates in the locker.
Sorry about that. Starting right here, actually.
How effective was OBJ's comments, even if they were not kept in the locker room?
I don't necessarily think it's about his comments as it was about his play, right? As it was about his energy, as it always is to me when I watch him on the field. Dude wants to win, and it's hard to be a rock star. Because, see, Odell Beckham Jr. is not like the rest of the players in the NFL. The NFL is a faceless game. Right, because everybody wears helmets. You don't know a lot of these players. There's guys like LaDainian Tomlinson, who's a Hall of Famer, who can walk down any street in America and people will let him just walk by. OBJ can't, right? So we want our superstars and our rock stars to be authentic. So he was authentic. He said what he felt, And those comments came out in a way that said you might be pointing a finger not only at Eli Manning, your quarterback, but part of royalty, right? The Manning family is royalty, so you're going to get some flack for that. But when you come out on the field and you throw the touchdown and you have the excitement for Saquon Barkley, when you make huge catches throughout the games, those are the things that matter. If you're going to say the things that he said, you better come out and perform, and you better act like you want to be there.
So he's also an ex-NFL player who's heavily involved in the league still, and he discusses how Odell plays with excitement and is being authentic, so he shouldn't be a huge storyline the way he is. And he takes the viewpoint that he isn't the bad guy and is frustrated because he just wants to win. And in conclusion, Odell is made out to be a drama queen or a distraction in many people's eyes, and many people believe it was his passion for the game that took over, and it was all due to the fact that he wanted to win. And media plays a role in this because the newsletters are sent everywhere, and people read about it every day, and it's always in headlines. And different NFL players' viewpoints is also a great aspect. Ryan Clark, Howard Cross, Sean O'Hara, they're all NFL players, so they know what the league's about and how to get around the media. Yeah.